It's a cloudy day in Vancouver for the annual Dragon Boat Festival, where thousands of people have gathered around Fall.
I immigrated from Hong Kong to Canada with my family in 1991 because I wanted to ensure the education of my children, and also because the situation in Hong Kong had changed a lot for me. My father had 6 children. 4 of them are now in Canada, and 2 sons are still in Hong Kong. We don't feel scattered because we travel back and forth quite often. Being at home in both places feels very natural to me. When I go to Hong Kong, I think, this is my birthplace. But when I'm in Canada, because I am an immigrant there, I feel like I'm going home. I studied TV production in Hollywood. When I returned to Hong Kong in 1973, I was offered a job at a TV station as a night shift manager. I thought it was a good opportunity, and the salary wasn't bad. But then my family said, if you worked for the TV station, who will help run the family business? If you work there, then you are on your own. You should work for me. You're the oldest son. It's important to have a stake in the family business. So that's how I got started. It's as simple as that. At that time, my family ran a candle factory.
My father and mother told me to come down to Hong Kong from China, so I came. I was only 13, and I stayed with relatives. At the time, it was difficult to find work in my village in China. It was easier to find a job in Hong Kong. That's why my parents told me to go. I was lucky to have relatives here in Hong Kong. The economic situation is better here. That's why I came to Hong Kong.
我咧喺香港拎咗啲資料翻嚟，有關於呢啲香港特別行政區，即係行政區嘅居留權嘅問題。我哋傾過喺香港，我細心睇過一下咧，即係話而家咧，如果香港出世嘅咧，咁咧，如果假如喺呢個7月1號之前，如果喺香港出現嘅話咧，咁咧就變咗自動就成為可以係一個擁有香港居留權嘅人啦，嘅公民啦。咁啊，但係佢就唔會再理會你係有冇其他嘅國籍啊。咁但係如果7月1號之前唔翻去嘅話咧，咁咧就要7月1號之後18個月之內翻香港，冇咗呢個香港嘅公民權，即係換言之唔可以投票選舉啊各樣嘢咁。
即係有咁嘅需要，
有冇呢個需要啦？
考慮呢個問題啦。咁我個人意見咧就可能未必需要啦，因為點解咧？細路仔喺度讀書，咁同埋 Rhoda 仲有咁耐嘅時間啦，咁同埋咧你只不過係冇投票權啫，咁我最多唔投票啊，係咪？咁橫掂與其政府佢都係已經係一個政府啊，冇話自由選舉㗎。唔需要啦。咁至於醫療嘅，咁你香港嗰時已經係冇醫療保險㗎。
嗰啲夾心階層嘅公積金計劃咁樣講啦，咁啊可以有關於啲模式貸款啦，咁咧就變咗可以同香港政府借60萬，係唔使息㗎喎，呢個就好處嚟㗎嘛。咁啊變咗我哋喺香港冇屋㗎，如果翻去變咗有屋啦，係咪？啱啊。咁啊你變可以向香港政府借60萬。就話唔使息嘅，咁都係一個好嘅一個原因，你冇理由放棄咗佢㗎。
但係如果你想做一個夾心階層，咁我與其係咁，我不如喺加拿大。你加拿大已經點啊？建立咗一個咁耐嘅時間，同埋事業啊、成啊咁樣已經都 OK 啊。咁你與其要做夾心階層，我情願就唔做啦，係咪？咁你再重新再做嘅，你唔會諗到去做夾心階層㗎啦嘛。
我哋純粹將嗰啲所有嘅點攞出嚟討論咁解啫，又唔係話一定我要去做夾心階層，抑或唔做夾心階層咁。
所以呢一點肯定唔需要考慮佢呢一點啦。係咪？如果係要做，除非我唔翻去啦，咁我一定要去做好我自己嘅生意，我先至肯願意翻去啦。如果唔係，我做夾心階層嘅時候，我就一定唔會再翻去㗎啦。
In my house, I always make up the mind before I leading the discussion. But this is the first time democracy, you know.
Would you want to move back to Hong Kong?
Well, no, maybe not. Because I don't like the weather and the air there. It's too filthy and stuff. So I like it here more. The school system is better.
Why?
It's easier. It's more relaxed, and you get to do more group activities. It's not just you memorize this like all the time. You just memorize and then you copy all of the pages and pages of words. So I like it. It's more flexible and fun.
Do you feel like a Canadian or a Hong Kong person?
Now I feel like a Canadian because we have been here so long, and Canada is just like Hong Kong. You go into Richmond and everyone speaks Chinese, so you do not even need to speak English. It's kind of neat. And you play mahjong. When we have parties here at home, we can get 2 or 3 tables going. I play mostly with relatives, but I'm not very good at it.
自己人啊，我唔係好識打麻雀，因為好水皮。
喺溫哥華咧，我仲有2個細佬同埋。
2 of my brothers and 1 of my sisters also live in Vancouver. The family gatherings are very important to us. We can share and exchange family news. It is a very important and strong support system for us.
係一個好重要，而且係我哋一個職業維持嘅一個支持力量。
Chinese people have this belief. Things you can't decide for yourself, you wait and leave to the gods. When I immigrated to Canada, I went to the temple to ask the gods whether or not I should immigrate. And in the end, it seemed the most natural thing to do. I think the gods arranged it for me. This time, I went back to the temple, hoping to get an answer to the residency question. Every time I go to Hong Kong, I visit my old friends from the Hong Kong Southern District Business Association. We were one of the first groups to open an industrial park in China. I had my own factory there, but I sold it when I moved to Canada.
做籌辦機構就係組成嘅一個商會，咁佢咧就喺年幾之前咧就攞咗一個叫做主辦權，就係呢個叫做世界華商大會嘅主辦權。咁今次係搞第4屆喺呢個溫哥華舉行咁樣嘅節目啦，同埋到時就都好熱鬧，有第一日就有唐人街。之夜就有歌舞啊，有舞獅舞龍啊，咁唐人街舞到30隻獅出嚟，都係好難得嘅一個機會。你知道啊？喺一個外國嘅地方冇30隻獅，冇幾條龍出嚟，咁都係一個好難得嘅機會嚟嘅。
Chinese business to me has always been about the psychological need to create a life raft.A safe place in a very uncertain environment. And Chinese people, even today, if you ask them what their lives have been about, they've had often very disruptive experiences of loss of home or loss of country. A lot of stressful things have occurred. And so it's not surprising that the entrepreneurial impulse has to do, I think, on a psychological scale with survival. And so who do you trust when you're in an uncertain environment? You trust your family.So again, it's no accident that the initial dominant mode of organization has been the family business, which is about a network. It's a clan network. It's the extended family.
大陸嘅幾好啊！佢話佢想做一個香口膠廠，咁咧就叫我哋睇下投資一啲錢，大概係投資費用多啲咁多，而家所以都喺度考慮緊究竟個可行性有幾多咯。等佢可行性報告嚟咗。我哋有時決定究竟可唔可以做咯，係咁嘅情況。到時我哋再傾嗰個問題。
Do you see yourself as a bridge between Canada and China?
Yes, I think so because to building a bridge is you need a very good foundation, a foundation from China, a foundation from Canada, foundation from the window of China of Hong Kong.So you need those are a very good solid foundation in order to build a solid bridge. So I can't say I am the one or the only one, but I try my best to do such a arrangement to building the connection in between different city or country in order to make the business moving.
A billionaire in Taiwan who took me out for dinner, and there were two of us in this huge dining room, and from way across the table he said, "I want to share with you a great insight about the Chinese business mentality." And I leaned forward expecting to hear something that sounded really complicated. And he said, "The shrewd rabbit has 3 holes." And I couldn't believe it. I almost said, "Excuse me," because it didn't seem like there was enough there. But what he meant was quite interesting. What he was talking about was the way Chinese entrepreneurs typically compartmentalize risk. And in this sense, compartmentalize risk geographically. So what he was talking about was he had a home in Taiwan. He had a fallback place in Pacific Palisades in California. But the future of his empire, his palace, if you will, his dream palace, was going to be in China. So on the one hand, it's about covering your downside, but on the other hand, it's about having big dreams as well.
我哋而家喺加拿大都係好開心，咁咧呢個機會咧就借呢個大家喺埋一齊嘅機會咧，有慶回歸，咁我哋祝福大家咧身體健康，生意發財，一切順利。身體健康，身體健康。
Maybe I was a bit small when I came or something, so I didn't feel anything. I was actually happy. It's just like, because then that will mean that July the 1st, it'll be Canada Day, and also it'll be the Hanover Day, so I only need to remember one date instead of 2 days.
If there's an opportunity in Hong Kong, then I may go back and for example, 1 or 2 years and try to see how it goes there. But I may not reside there for a long time since our family is here, right? And my friends is here, and also I adapt here more now.
I think as long as you are a Chinese person, you feel united with other Chinese. It's a celebration to be back with China, but at the same time, you're worried too about what they're going to do with it. If they do a bad job, we would lose face.
We are Canadian Chinese. That the feeling is far away, and even in the worst scenario, Hong Kong, the new government cannot run it properly. less pressure or less direct problem to me. So the bad feeling is not that strong. And particularly if we are overseas Chinese, if China are strong, then maybe we are more respected by different countries' people.
We should never forget the pioneers who came here first, the Chinese Canadians who came here and many of them who gave their lives to help build this country, or the Chinese veterans who are here represented today, who fought for Canada in the Second World War, reminds us all of this tremendous heritage of Chinese Canadians and their important contribution historically to Canada and to British Columbia, and their growing importance economically, culturally, and politically to the future of British Columbia.
This afternoon, the cover came off the worst-kept secret in town. Concord Pacific, the Canadian company controlled by Hong Kong billionaire Li Ka-shing, will develop the 207-acre expo site in Falls Creek. For the Premier, it was, as usual,
a fantastic day. A great day for our province and for all British Columbians.
When this happened, I was in Hong Kong and I thought, wow, Li Ka-shing has bought the expo site. Will Vancouver become a new Hong Kong? That's what everybody thought in Hong Kong. In reality, it's not the Chinese who decide. It's Canada who decides who is welcome and who is not. But it's a good place to invest. And it had a huge impact because when Li Ka-shing went to Vancouver, a lot of people followed him. Hong Kong benefits, Vancouver benefits.
Immigration since 1967 has been not entirely, but largely made up of people who are well off, people who belong to the upper classes of Hong Kong and Taiwan, who come here with capital and buy the most expensive real estate. There are also middle-class people and people of modest means who come with their entire family. The Chinese population today is no longer a small minority. It represents 25 to 30% of the total population of Vancouver. It's therefore a huge, powerful group which is very dynamic.
C'est le gouvernement de Mulroney qui a dit que les gens qui avaient de l'argent, enfin une certaine somme d'argent, pouvaient venir au Canada et donc qui pouvaient s'acheter finalement la citoyenneté canadienne.
C'est ça, parce qu'en effet, ça veut dire que la citoyenneté canadienne est vendue. On la vend pour 250 000 ou 350 000 dollars. Ouais.
Mais le Canada faisait la même chose que tous les autres pays à travers le monde. On attire une clientèle qui est éduquée, qui est plus éduquée, qui a un certain montant d'argent pour ne pas faire comme la Hollande et beaucoup de pays socialistes qui se ramassent avec des réfugiés que la société doit être obligée de les faire vivre finalement. Donc, est-ce que c'est mal? Est-ce que c'est bien? Bon, c'est peut-être pas à moi de dire ça. Mais moi, je pense que la contribution que ces gens-là ont faite à notre société ont amené beaucoup de capitaux Et la Colombie-Britannique n'a pas vraiment vécu la récession que l'Est du pays a vécu, l'Ontario et le Québec spécialement. Et moi, je pense qu'en général, les Asiatiques ont des très bonnes valeurs de travail, travaillent très fort, une bonne valeur familiale. Et je pense qu'ils ont contribué à faire que la Colombie-Britannique est une meilleure place pour vivre.
Ce qui me gêne dans ces valeurs, c'est justement trop de travail. C'est un peu comme le Japon. Moi, je crois qu'on a une autre valeur au Canada. On a décidé au Canada qu'on voulait vivre, mais qu'on voulait apprécier la vie et qu'on voulait former des êtres un peu plus complets, arrondis, enfin, tout ce que vous voulez. Et si je vois ma société changer en société où on ne fait que travailler, comme au Japon, où les gens vont mourir de crise cardiaque à l'âge de 50 ans, moi, je vais résister ça.
Le travail, je pense, c'est une éthique qui vient de leur pays, qu'il faut qu'ils travaillent, pas nécessairement toujours pour l'argent. Je pense il faut s'en sortir. C'est un peu une mentalité d'immigrant. Il faut s'en sortir. Même, ça dérange pas combien d'argent qu'on a. Il faut s'en sortir. Il faut que je pense à mes enfants. Il faut que je pense à mes grands-enfants. Donc, il y a quand même un esprit de partage.
Moi, j'ai entendu dans des cours, des gens qui disaient « Ah oui, mais ici, on fait pas d'argent assez vite. » C'est « Ah, je m'ennuie de Hong Kong parce que là-bas, ça bouge, parce que là-bas, on fait de l'argent vite. Ici, il y a tellement de taxes. On peut pas faire de l'argent. » L'argent est comme... J'ai comme l'impression souvent qu'il y a le signe de dollar qui est là. Et...
vous ne croyez pas que c'est une mentalité d'immigrants? Que les Italiens qui sont arrivés à Montréal dans le début des années 50, il y avait 2 emplois.
Faut pas faire... Il y a une grande différence, c'est que l'immigrant italien qui arrivait, je dis pas qu'il était mieux ou qu'il était pire, c'est qu'il n'arrivait pas avec le pouvoir de l'argent dans la poche. Mais là, moi, je vois une génération, en tout cas une partie de la population qui arrive, et puis qui va donc nous regarder aussi avec une certaine arrogance parfois, parce que moi, j'ai l'argent, moi, j'ai le pouvoir.
Quelle est la différence entre les Asiatiques et la population asiatique qui vivent leur propre culture, ils ont leur propre restaurant, nourriture, et on ne va pas nécessairement aller demeurer fraiseuse, c'est leur propre culture. La différence entre les Asiatiques, ils amènent de l'argent. Too bad for them, they have money.
Non, mais...
C'est triste.
Remember the article that I gave you guys last day to read? Remember, there are about 4 short articles you were supposed to skim through and think about? Could I ask you to get your desks all facing, take out that article, and with your group, discuss those questions? Immigrants tolerated for their wealth. What do you think about that? That sounds really nice, eh?
Like Corey said, I think it's probably the government is sort of using immigrants as sort of scapegoat kind of to just blame everything to them so that they won't be in trouble.
Okay, so blame refugees for drug problems, but if people have money, then that's something else.
Yeah, because like when you walk down the halls and everything, you hear them all speaking Chinese and then you feel kind of like left out, because you don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's overpowering. And
Yeah.
then you go to a bank machine, and when you press the wrong thing, and everything comes up in Chinese.
Yeah.
And then they charge you $2 because you press the wrong thing.
But shouldn't you try to adapt it though? Adapt like the...
It's easier said than done though, because imagine if your mom has like white friends and everything.
My mom has white friends.
Fine, imagine my mom.
But I mean, Canadian society, it's everybody.
Yeah.
So
it's everybody doing like their dragon festivals and all these other things.
Yeah.
That's what Canadian society is.
Yes.
It is indeed a pleasure to be here on this very auspicious occasion. The 4th World Chinese Entrepreneurs Convention takes place this year in beautiful Vancouver for the very first time outside of Asia. We are pleased to welcome over 1,400 delegates from over 20 countries from around the world.
Certainly up until now, it's been fashionable to look at the world as this triad of North America, Japan, and Europe. And I think the reality is there's always been another layer, which has been, in a sense, the fourth leg of this three-legged stool, which is the Chinese economy, the non-geographical Chinese economy, which I've termed elsewhere the Chinese Commonwealth. And it's been important historically because it's been very rich and has gotten richer, and nobody knows what the value of those assets are because it's not a country. But just looking, for instance, at the value of public companies in Asia controlled by ethnic Chinese, that number approaches $500 billion.
Thank you, sir. Very good.
So this is the beauty.
No harmful effects to the patient.
Profit is so important to all the businessmen, but to me, that profit is not the number one. The number one is to make this project successful, make the business ongoing, make every party related happy, and everyone contributing to it enjoy, work together. That is the importance. 喺香港回歸之後
Going back to Hong Kong after the handover, I am concerned about the changes that might have occurred there. In fact, after a few days in the city, nothing much seems changed to me except the flag. Before going to our family village, I wanted to go to the city of Swadell, where thousands of overseas Chinese business people like me and their families from around the world have been invited to go back to Qujiao, their home region, to see the new face of China and to do some business. So we are going there now with about 30 entrepreneurs from Vancouver, all members of the BC Chujiao Association, to network and to participate in the celebration of this homecoming. There are about 10 million Chujiao people around the world. In Vancouver, we are approximately 30,000, including influential people like Dr. David Lam and Mr. C.K. Choi. So yes, it is a very important network. One of the most exciting moments for me is when I get to meet again billionaire Li Ka-shing, also a Chujiao native, the man who changed the face of Vancouver when he bought the expo site. Adding all of the famous people from Chujiao that I see in this room, I believe that they control maybe half of the economy of all the overseas Chinese in the world. My father lived near this place before he immigrated.
How do you feel?
Maybe because I was born in Hong Kong, my feelings are not as strong. But the feeling is very special because I want to find out where I came from. So it's a very special feeling, like finding my roots.
超級方面唔好。我前啲會嘅流動嘅唔會個情況。你個超級個冇麼？你那都哎個你能認識無數，但係現在個唔係嘢嚟㗎。現在唔係嘢，然後我做卡超，我那做卡超一定講，係為咗你好明就不定講。定波就自己個波就嚟喺同嘅，哪怕是你自己講啦，哪怕是別嘅嚟話合作，合作啦。佢繼續自個揭嚟，你話個學院個一啲，你個牌子係好嘅，學院就咁拉其實，你直接幫佢超速，你就明咁耐。
香港啊，佢保你度咁名一料啊，好多地方，
可能，不過香港嘅工作也是出口人啦，先口人，有擺是口人啦。你又在路區嘅都在啦，香港啊，家人啊是落卡超，家人都做啦。
橫掂咧都係要工㗎嘛，係嘛？人都係幫佢做啊嘛，自己個人咪佢比較容易搞啲。
不過香港我嘅地都打理，我那個就挺推嘅，推到一情況咗你冇交易晒，對不對？推到情況咗你。
Chinese families are very large. So after visiting fifth uncle, we obviously had to visit sixth uncle.
五舅父之後咧，我哋咧都會探六舅父嘅。來，叫他來吃來，摸藝術啊，摸藝術哈。所以摸奶。這是做個藝術哈，摸藝術哈，摸藝術哈，摸藝術哈。哎呀，摸藝術。
哎呀，多謝你唔使咁辛苦啦嘛。
Some people came to see us in Hong Kong, and they talked to us about our village. But I never imagined it would look like this. And they even told us that my relatives had already moved to a better home, but I never imagined it would be quite like this. This situation surprised me a lot.
How does this feel compared to Vancouver?
It's another world.
Vancouver, compared with Hong Kong, is already much better, such as living conditions, air, enjoyment, and there's a huge difference with China. So in Vancouver, compared with China, we are in heaven.
Vancouver is my home. So I have my family here, you know, I have all the brothers, relatives, children, business, everything is here. At this moment, I think I will stay here because this is the only home what I have. So I have no reason to leave this beautiful country. And unless a lot of things has been changed, then no choice. Because just like before, I was born in Hong Kong, and in Hong Kong I'm quite living all right. But finally ending up, I need to move out from Hong Kong to here. The same thing, because so many different elements has been changed, and the decision would be changed as well. 呢首歌叫做《祝福》，係講一啲人。
This song is called Wishing You the Best. It refers to a person that leaves one place to go to another. Particularly, it says, the past is past, but good luck in your new home.
建立起你一個新嘅家園。
拜託情報，奉上。